Welcome to my channel. Today, I want to talk about something that touches every one of us as we grow older. The expectations we once had, and the quiet peace that comes from letting them go. For so many years I carried the weight of what I thought life should look like by now. A certain level of success, health, or family closeness that I imagined would define happiness. But life, as we all learn, has its own rhythm. The older I get, the more I realize that peace doesn't come from meeting those expectations. It comes from releasing them. And in that release, I found a kind of freedom I never knew I needed. When we're young, expectations feel like fuel. They push us forward, give us purpose, and shape our ambitions. But as we age, those same expectations can become a burden. We might still expect our bodies to perform like they used to, our minds to stay sharp every day, or our children to live out the dreams we once had. These invisible pressures build up quietly until we start feeling restless, disappointed, or even ashamed. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means freeing ourselves from an outdated image of who we thought we should be. It means honoring who we are today. Minimalism for seniors isn't just about decluttering our homes. It's about clearing our hearts and minds from emotional clutter. Over the years, I've learned that my peace of mind doesn't depend on how much I own or how much I do, but on how much I let go. Old grudges, unfulfilled dreams, and the constant comparison to others all weigh us down. The beauty of minimalism lies in choosing what truly matters and gently setting the rest aside. When we stop chasing after yesterday's standards, we finally make room for joy in the present moment. I used to believe productivity was the key to a meaningful life. Even in retirement, I felt guilty if I wasn't busy or useful. But one afternoon, as I sat quietly on my porch, I realized that peace doesn't come from movement. It comes from stillness. The sun was setting, the wind was soft, and for the first time, I didn't feel the need to prove anything. That moment changed everything. It reminded me that I am enough, even when I am simply being. Letting go of old expectations also means making peace with imperfection. Our bodies change, our memories fade, and our pace slows down. And that's okay. Every wrinkle tells a story. Every scar shows survival. The minimalism mindset helps us see these signs not as losses, but as symbols of life well lived. When we stop fighting time and start embracing it, aging becomes a graceful unfolding instead of a slow retreat. One of the hardest expectations to release is how others see us. We grow up seeking approval from parents, teachers, friends, and society. But the older I become, the more I see how fleeting those opinions are. People's views change as quickly as the seasons. What matters most is how we view ourselves. Once we stop needing validation, we gain a deep and quiet confidence that no one can take away. Minimalism also teaches us that peace isn't something we chase. It's something we allow. When we declutter our surroundings, we often discover emotional clarity that had been buried beneath the noise. For me, clearing out my closet became symbolic of clearing out my worries. Each item I donated represented an old expectation I was ready to release. The lighter my home became, the lighter my spirit felt. Letting go doesn't mean you no longer care. It means you care differently. Instead of controlling outcomes, you learn to trust the natural flow of life. You begin to see beauty in unpredictability, comfort in simplicity, and purpose in stillness. The peace that comes with acceptance is far more powerful than the pride that comes from perfection. It's a calm that whispers, "You're exactly where you need to be." There was a time when I thought minimalism was about owning fewer things. But now I know it's about carrying fewer burdens. The more I released my attachment to shoulds and musts, the more space I found inside myself for gratitude. I began to enjoy simple things again. Morning coffee, birdsong, laughter over dinner with friends. These small joys became the treasures of a simplified life. Expectations can make us feel like we're living someone else's life. We compare our chapter to another person's story and wonder why ours looks different. But there is no single definition of a fulfilled life. The peace we seek doesn't come from matching others. It comes from accepting our own journey. Minimalism for Seniors reminds us that the most beautiful lives are often the simplest ones. I remember cleaning out an old box of photos one day. I found pictures of my younger self, so full of plans and dreams. At first, I felt sadness for what hadn't turned out the way I hoped. But then I smiled, realizing that every path I didn't take led me to the person I am now. Sometimes letting go means forgiving ourselves for being human, for not knowing then what we know now. Peace also means letting go of regret. We all carry memories we wish we could change, but regret ties us to the past and steals joy from the present. Minimalism teaches us to look gently at those memories, thank them for their lessons, and release them with love. Each time we do, the heart becomes a little lighter and peace grows stronger. In a world that values constant progress, it takes courage to slow down. Yet slowing down allows us to see what we've been missing all along. The beauty of a quiet morning, the comfort of routine, the gratitude for what we already have. These are the rewards of letting go. When life becomes simpler, we finally have time to feel it deeply. I've met many people who fear that letting go means losing purpose, but the opposite is true. When we release unrealistic expectations, we rediscover what truly fulfills us. Maybe it's painting again, tending to a garden, or spending time with loved ones without rushing. Minimalism opens a door to presence, to living, not just existing. One of the most freeing lessons I've learned is that peace doesn't need to be earned. We don't have to prove we deserve rest, joy, or love. We only need to allow them in. Letting go of old expectations is a gift we give ourselves, a chance to live life with open hands instead of clenched fists. That's where serenity begins. Even financial peace often follows emotional peace. When we stop buying things to meet others' standards, we save money and stress. Our homes become calmer, our priorities clearer. It's not about denying comfort. It's about finding comfort in what already surrounds us. The less we chase, the more we cherish. Minimalism for Seniors invites us to grow inward, not outward, to tend to the inner garden that blooms when we stop comparing and start appreciating. It's about trusting that enough is enough, that simplicity is strength, and that peace is already within reach. We just have to clear away the clutter that hides it. The greatest freedom in later life isn't doing whatever we want. It's being content with what we have. Letting go of old expectations doesn't mean our story is over. It means we're finally writing it our way. Each day becomes a quiet celebration of acceptance, and in that acceptance, there is peace deeper than anything success could ever give. So today, I encourage you to pause and reflect. Ask yourself what expectations no longer serve you. What stories about yourself can you release to feel lighter and freer? The answer may surprise you. Sometimes the peace we've been seeking all our lives appears only after we stop trying so hard to find it. When we let go of expectations, we also open the door to compassion, especially toward ourselves. Many of us have spent decades caring for others, often putting our own needs last. But as the years go by, it becomes clear that self-kindness is not selfish. It's essential. We can't pour from an empty cup. By simplifying our lives and our thoughts, we make space to rest, heal, and recharge. Peace grows where self-criticism once lived, and that peace radiates outward, touching everyone around us. Letting go also brings us closer to the present moment. For much of life, our minds are trapped in someday thinking. Someday I'll travel, someday I'll be happy, someday I'll feel enough. But minimalism reminds us that someday is now. Every breath, every sunrise, every cup of tea is an invitation to be fully alive. When we release the pressure of what's next, we finally get to experience the beauty of what's here. The present is no longer a waiting room. It becomes home. I've noticed that the more I let go, the more connected I feel to people, to nature, and to life itself. Without the constant noise of expectation, conversations become more meaningful, and silence feels peaceful instead of lonely. I've learned to listen deeply, to others, and to my own heart. There's a quiet wisdom that emerges when we stop trying to control every outcome. It's the wisdom of trust, of knowing that even when things don't go as planned, Life still has a gentle rhythm that carries us forward. So if you find yourself feeling weighed down by what should have been, I invite you to breathe and release. You don't have to meet every expectation, yours or anyone else's. Life isn't a list to complete. It's a story to experience. Each day you wake up is another page, another chance to live lighter, freer, and more at peace. Remember, peace doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for presence. Let go, breathe deeply, and know that you are already enough, just as you are. As I look back on my own journey, I realize that letting go of old expectations didn't make my life smaller, it made it richer. Thanks for watching, and for sharing this journey of simplicity and self-discovery with me. Remember, peace doesn't come from adding more, it comes from letting go. May your days ahead be filled with calm, clarity, and gentle joy. And may you always find freedom in the beautiful simplicity of being yourself.